Last week, I made a video where I showed you how much rent you can afford in Miami on a 50K, 75K, and 100K a year salary. So in this video, I wanted to take that same salary and show you what you can afford to purchase instead. Now, before we dive in, let me just say that showcasing your purchase power as a buyer is way more complex than what I'm about to show you, because most of what you can qualify for largely depends on other factors such as your debt to income ratio, your credit score, your down payment, and interest rates, just to name a few. What this means to you is that two people with the same income may have two widely different purchase amounts when you take these factors into consideration. But since we don't have that kind of time to go into every possible scenario, instead what I'm going to do is to show you what you can afford based on trying to stick to a monthly payment using today's interest rates and a 25% down payment. This should give you a general idea as to the type of property you can buy in Miami, but of course you want to check and speak with a mortgage lender to go into more detail. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about your purchase power at 50K a year. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Using the 30% rule that states that no more than 30% of your gross income should be used to your housing, what we come to find is that 50K a year will leave you with about $15,000 a year allotted to housing, or about $1,250 per month. So if you're looking to stay within this budget, then using the current interest rate of around 3%, give or take, will give us a purchase price of $250,000 with a 25% down payment of $62,500. Just to clarify, the reason why I am using such a high down payment instead of an FHA down payment of 3.5% is because most of the options at this price point will be apartments and condos, as the average single family home in Miami is about double this amount. And unfortunately, the majority of condos and apartments will require a 25% down payment in order to obtain financing approval. So it wouldn't make any sense to show you options that you otherwise would not be able to obtain financing for, hence why we're using such a high down payment. Okay, so what does $250,000 in Miami get you? Well, after looking into several options, this one here that I'm about to show you is similar to the type of property you're going to find. So let's check it out. Okay, so going to my screen here, we're going to see a property that's listed at $249,900. This is an apartment. It's actually listed, or rather it's in the Kendall/West Kendall area, which is a great area. It's a little west to where a lot of people are. It's in West Miami, if you will. So it's going to take you some time in terms of travel commute if you do work or want to be by that downtown Brickell and Miami Beach area. So just keep that in mind. You're about a 20 to 45 minute commute depending on the traffic. So at $250,000, or just about $250,000, we come to this apartment, which was one of the better options that I was able to find. We're just going to skim through the photo listings here just so that you can have an idea. It has been renovated. As you can see, this countertop and this kitchen is not from the developer, or it's not original. The tile is original. Of course, the furniture, it doesn't come with the furniture, so just bear that in mind. But it has a very nice, clean aesthetic to it. And it does have a balcony, it has some seating. But what I want to clarify here is that it has ample space, you know? So if we go back to the details here, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 full baths, and it's just over 1,075 square feet, 21 days on the market. But what I do like about it, aside from the fact that it is updated, it's that it's over 1,000 square feet. The traditional 2-bedroom in Miami is gonna be around 700 to 900 square feet. So this is just a little bit over that. So I do like that it has 2 full baths. There is no guest bath, but it does have an in-unit washer and dryer, which in this location is actually very important. So I think it's a very nice, clean unit. The photos do a good job in kind of showcasing that. But again, $250,000, if that's what you're looking to spend per month, this is probably one of your better options, or similar to this is what you're going to find. Moving on to the next salary amount of $75K, and sticking to that 30% rule, we come to an annual housing spend of around $22,500, or about $1,875 per month. And what that means to you as a buyer is that you can afford a home of about $400,000. So this starts to bring us to the average price home in Miami. So we're going to have a little bit more options, but let's see what type of property you can expect to find at this price point. I was able to find something that was just under $400,000. And for whatever reason, at the current time that I was filming this video, this was the best listing. Even properties that were closer to $400,000, this was the best listing in terms of renovation, in terms of style, in terms of location, and definitely in terms of photos, which is a big factor in being able to show you guys the type of real estate that's out there. So real quick on the details, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's close to 1,400 square feet, and it was just listed on the market 11 days ago. So let's see what we have here. You have a nice circular driveway going in, and once you enter, porcelain floor, as you can see, it's been remodeled. So this is not a brand new built home, but it was definitely remodeled, and you can see that the appliances are in. This, if for those of you who don't know, this just means that the owner will add the appliances prior to closing. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with appliances. It just is not featured in these photos at the moment. But yeah, new countertops, new flooring, what you can expect to find of a newer construction built home today, at least the style, at least, and some of the form and layout and function of the property is there. You know, they open up some walls to make it as open of a living space as possible. Of course, there's some load-bearing walls at the feature, or the way that this was constructed originally, that are going to prohibit complete open layout, but it does a good job in giving you that. But at $370,000, I think that this is not only just under our $400,000 budget, but it is a really good option and similar to what you can expect to find. The majority of stuff at this price point, guys, are going to be, like I mentioned, still a lot of apartments and townhomes for the most part, because the average price for a single family home is now creeping up to the high 400s, almost $500,000. So even if you have a $400,000 per month budget, rather $400,000 budget, you're still going to be very limited in the single family home space. So that's why I wanted to pick this out, because it is kind of rare. So if you're looking to be in a single family home, expect to find something like this. And in many cases, because this was one of the few options I was able to find renovated, in many cases in its original condition. So if you're looking to spend $400,000, also take into consideration that you're probably gonna have to set some money aside to renovate the home and make some, deferred maintenance in order to get the property back up to standard and to your liking. Now we get to $100K per year salary, which equates to about $30K per year in housing spend, or around $2,500 per month. And at a 25% down payment, what this is gonna bring you in terms of purchase price is around $575,000. It's really at this 100K mark that Miami real estate starts to open up, and in my opinion, where most buyers want to be before they start looking for a home, if in case you want the majority of options. So here's something that I'm about to show you that's along the lines of what you can expect to find at this price point. So getting to my screen here, this property is in West Kendall. So it's pretty much as far west as you can go before you start to get to like almost Everglades territory. But I think that this price point and this option, and especially this area, is going to bring you the best, or definitely the best quality product that you're going to find. And again, we're going further west. So further west in many cases is going to bring you a lot newer construction, a lot bigger in terms of square footage, and just more value. So real quick, before we dive into the details, this is a 5-bedroom, 4 full bath at 2,868 square feet, and it was listed on the market just 2 days ago. Now this is $599,000, so I took some liberty in increasing the price, whereas in the last example, we were about 20 or 30K under. This one is a little bit over, and the reason for that is that there was an option that was very similar to this, but the photos weren't as great, and it was listed for, I think, $575 or $580. So this one's a little bit more expensive, but the photos do a lot more justice. And since this is a visual example, we're gonna go with this one. The first thing you'll notice is that it has a lot of curb appeal, right? So it has a 2-car garage and plenty of space for parking, but really the curb appeal is what gets the home. You can see the space and the size of the home, and it is on a corner lot, which to me is my favorite types of homes. I mean, you get more space, not just in lot size, but the housing presence on the street definitely makes more of an impact. So again, very traditional as to the style of the year that it was built and the style of home you're going to find at this price point. Again, just tile flooring, more of the smaller tile flooring, not the newer like big slabs of flooring that you're going to find in more newer construction, but still it gets the job done. A lot of broken into rooms. So what I mean by that, segmented rooms like your living room, your family room, your dining room, as opposed to just a wide open layout. Back then, of course, these rooms were just more segmented into its own little division. Nothing wrong with that, but definitely it shows its years in terms of that phase. Again, they did some renovations to current owners by adding, I believe this is a new appliance package, more than likely. And this looks original in terms of the countertops. It looks like it's granite countertops. So I don't think that there was a lot of renovations done. Maybe the bathroom was done. I don't think the vanity was done, but probably the glass enclosed shower doors were done. So just a lot of that. You can see it's a two-story building, so a lot of open space, probably a den. And most of these units have a den on this second floor, which is just an open concept where you can just have, an office space or that nature. But again, very nice space, very spacious bathroom. This is, again, similar to what you would expect to find. probably the best option that you're going to find, especially since it has a pool and especially since it's on a canal or a lake. So those things, you take that into consideration and you're getting tremendous value, because something like this, a little closer east, Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, we're going to be at half the square footage. You're definitely not going to have a pool. And more than likely, you're going to be in a 1970s, 1980s built home, maybe even older than that, with a lot of renovation that needs to take place if it hasn't done so already, because a lot of those homes are closer to the mill mark. So again, a little bit in terms of location, it's a family-centered area. I really like this area. Great area to raise a family, a lot of good schools. But again, in terms of commute times, if you guys are relocating to Miami, just take into consideration this is in West Kendall. So again, 45-minute drive easily with traffic, or if not, maybe a little bit more, to the city, to Miami Beach. So in terms of commute, that's something that you may want to factor in. Now, are there different scenarios which will allow you to afford more of a home without such a high down payment? Yes, of course. These examples that I'm showing you are meant to serve as a guide, and they're based on the current market conditions as of today, which, as many of you already know, it's a highly competitive market with most homes seeing multiple offers, and many times it's those buyers who are either paying cash or who are putting high down payments with little contingencies that are having any luck in securing real estate. My recommendation to anyone out there, of course, is to be patient, have your financial house in order, and work with the right real estate team, which is more than just your real estate agent. That also goes to your title company and your lender and your inspector and a bunch of other things, because that is going to be the fundamental step that you need to take in order to have success as a future homeowner. I hope this video brought you value, and if it did, help me out and help the channel out by giving this video a thumbs up. And I encourage everybody to subscribe to the channel who hasn't done so already by clicking that notification bell and that subscribe button to stay up to date with my weekly Miami real estate uploads. And as always, guys, thank you so much for making it this far, and I will see you all next week. God bless.